It all began on an ordinary afternoon in a high-end shopping district, the kind of place where the wealthy often stroll casually. Browsing boutiques that most people only dream of entering, crowds moved busily between luxury storefronts, waiters carried trays to outdoor cafe tables, and passers-by enjoyed the sunny day. No one expected that within minutes, the quiet rhythm of the street would shatter with an incident that would leave onlookers stunned. The woman at the center of the chaos was Sandra, a mid-level manager at a corporate firm known among her friends for her sharp temper and sense of entitlement. She was not particularly rich, but she carried herself with the arrogance of someone who believed the world owed her respect. Sandra had gone to the luxury district that afternoon to treat herself. After what she considered a tough week, already irritated by small inconveniences, delays in service, crowded spaces, and her own frustration, she was not in the mindset to show patience or kindness. It was at this moment that fate introduced her to Mrs. Evelyn Carter, the poised and elegant wife of billionaire businessman Richard Carter. Evelyn was a striking woman, tall, graceful, with a natural charisma that seemed to light up her surroundings. Though she was married into immense wealth, Evelyn was known for her humility and kindness. Like many spouses of the ultra-rich, she often moved without security guards, preferring to mingle freely and live as normally as possible. On this particular day, she wore a simple but beautifully tailored dress and carried herself with the quiet confidence of someone who did not need to prove her worth. Sandra noticed Evelyn at the entrance of a boutique. Evelyn had stopped briefly to answer her phone, momentarily unaware that Sandra was trying to enter the same store in a rush. Sandra, impatient and quick-tempered, interpreted the slight pause as intentional blocking. She tapped Evelyn on the shoulder, her voice sharp and full of irritation. "Excuse me, can you move? Some of us don't have all day." Evelyn, momentarily caught off guard, turned with her characteristic politeness and replied calmly, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was in your way. Please, go ahead." Most people would have let the incident end there, but Sandra, already irritated, misread Evelyn's calm composure as arrogance. She scoffed, muttered something under her breath, and as Evelyn began to step aside, Sandra shoved past her more aggressively than necessary. Onlookers noticed, and a few frowned at Sandra's rudeness. Evelyn, maintaining her dignity, did not react. She smiled faintly and let Sandra through. But Sandra wasn't done. Perhaps it was Evelyn's poise. Perhaps it was the quiet grace that seemed to command respect without a word, but something about her infuriated Sandra further. In a reckless burst of temper, Sandra turned back and uttered, "You think you're better than everyone else, don't you?" Evelyn tilted her head, genuinely confused. "I don't think that at all," she replied softly. But Sandra, driven by her own insecurities and anger, snapped. In a shocking act of aggression, she raised her hand and slapped Evelyn across the face. The sound of the slap echoed across the street. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Conversations stopped mid-sentence, and dozens of eyes turned toward the scene. A hush fell as people tried to process what had just happened. Evelyn staggered slightly from the unexpected blow, her cheek reddening. Yet even in that moment, her composure did not falter. She straightened, looked Sandra directly in the eye, and said nothing. The calmness of her silence made Sandra feel, for the first time, a flicker of unease. It was only seconds later that reality hit Sandra like a tidal wave. Murmurs spread quickly among the bystanders. "Isn't that Mrs. Carter?" "Yes." "Hey, Richard. Carter's wife? The billionaire? Oh my God. She just slapped her." Sandra's face drained of color as the words sank in. She had not just slapped a random stranger. She had slapped the wife of one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in the country. Within minutes, cell phones were out, recording the incident. Some passers-by were already calling security. Man who recognized Evelyn hurried forward to ask if she was okay. Meanwhile, Sandra's boldness evaporated. She realized the gravity of her mistake, her career, her reputation, even her freedom might be at risk. Sandra dropped to her knees, her voice trembling as she begged, "Please, I didn't know who you were. I didn't mean it. Please don't. Call the police." Evelyn remained silent for a long moment, her eyes fixed steadily on Sandra. The crowd watched, fascinated by the power shift. The arrogant woman who had lashed out moments before was now reduced to a desperate figure, groveling at the feet of the woman she had wronged. Finally, Evelyn spoke. Her words were calm but carried the weight of authority. You don't treat people with respect because of who they are married to. You treat people with respect because it's the right thing to do. Sandra burst into tears, promising over and over that she would change. She was sorry that she didn't realize what she had done. She clutched at Evelyn's hand, but Evelyn gently pulled away, refusing to allow the woman's desperation. To erase the gravity of her actions, security arrived soon after. And while Evelyn chose not to press charge as an act of grace that stunned everyone present, she made one request, that Sandra publicly apologize for her actions. In the days that followed, video footage of the incident went viral. Sandra's slap Evelyn's composure, and the desperate pleas for forgiveness spread across social media like wildfire. People across the world condemned Sandra's behavior, but they also marveled at Evelyn's dignity. Commentators noted that Evelyn's refusal to retaliate, her calm in the face of public humiliation, her insistence on respect as a universal principle, turned the incident into more than just a scandal. It became a lesson. Sandra's life, meanwhile, took a drastic turn. Her employer, embarrassed by the publicity, suspended her. Friends distanced themselves. She became a cautionary tale of how arrogance and temper, when left unchecked, can destroy a person's image in minutes. But Evelyn's reputation only grew stronger. Many saw her as the embodiment of grace under fire, a woman who understood her own worth without needing to assert it aggressively. In interviews afterward, when asked why she didn't retaliate or press charges, Evelyn simply replied, "Because forgiveness is more powerful than revenge." For Sandra, the incident remained a lifelong reminder of the dangers of impulsive anger and misplaced pride. For Evelyn, it was yet another example of how character shines brightest in moments of challenge, and for everyone who witnessed it, either in person or through the viral video, became a story etched into memory. The day a woman's arrogance led her to slap a billionaire's wife, and the mercy she received only magnified the lesson she desperately needed to learn.